Today, we're digging into a really fascinating and frankly kind of scary shift in aerial warfare. It's a change that explains this bizarre paradox, how a defense system can be almost perfect, yet the danger on the ground can actually be getting worse. The very idea of what an attack is, well, it's changing right in front of us.
So let's just jump right into the core question, the real puzzle we're trying to solve here. We see all this incredible defense technology taking out threats midair, right? But if that's happening, why isn't it enough anymore? Something fundamental has shifted in what a successful interception even looks like.
You know, we often hear these incredible numbers thrown around from modern air defense systems. Sources like Reuters have cited figures around 90%, which, sounds amazing. It sounds like this nearly impenetrable shield, an almost total guarantee of safety. And yet, that number just doesn't tell the full story. At the exact same time, we're seeing reports and images that show the complete opposite. Fire-gutted cars, serious infrastructure damage, and tragically civilian fatalities right in the middle of a major city like Tel Aviv.
It creates this total paradox, doesn't it? If the defenses are working that well, why does the ground still look so chaotic? The answer isn't just about what gets through that 10% gap. It's about how even the missiles that are intercepted can create a whole new kind of threat.
Okay, so here's the crucial point. The threat itself is evolving. We're not just talking about missiles getting faster or bigger. This is a change in the entire philosophy of an attack, one that's designed specifically to get around modern defenses. And the key to this whole thing is something called a cluster-type warhead. Now, think of this less like a single bullet and more like a shotgun shell. Its whole purpose is to break apart in the air, scattering dozens, sometimes hundreds, of these smaller bomblets over a massive area. And this really shows you the fundamental difference. A defense system up against a single warhead has one job: take out that one object. Simple enough. But against the cluster warhead, that one incoming threat suddenly becomes dozens of separate hazards. The problem shifts from one of precision to one of just saturation. It creates this huge danger zone on the ground. Now, this tactic is so brutally effective because it finds a hidden weak point in even the most advanced, most sophisticated defense systems out there. It's a strategy that's designed to turn a system's biggest strength, its precision, into its biggest liability. See, it creates this really serious timing problem. As sources like Reuters have laid out, the defenders have this very, very narrow window. They have to hit the missile before it breaks apart. Because if they miss that window, the game completely changes. Suddenly, it's not one target anymore, it's a whole swarm. The system is just overwhelmed by pure chaos.
But this whole tactical shift, it does a lot more than just challenge military hardware. It completely transforms the experience for everybody on the ground, turning what was a physical battle into a deeply psychological one.
And this question gets right to the heart of the terrifying new reality for civilians. An explosion in the sky used to mean relief. It meant, okay, we got it. But now it just creates this awful uncertainty. Was that a successful interception, or was that the exact moment the threat multiplied? The danger is no longer a single explosion you can see, but dozens of invisible threats just raining down. And of course, this psychological fear has devastating consequences in the real world, especially when you use this tactic over a crowded city. The results are immediate, and they're very long-lasting. And look, this isn't just a theory. An Associated Press report quoted an Israeli police spokesman who directly connected a fatality, a 52-year-old man in Tel Aviv, to this exact type of weapon. This is the confirmed human cost of this fragmentation tactic. And the attack, it just doesn't end when the sirens finally go quiet. The aftermath literally turns the city into a hazard zone. Emergency responders show up to streets just covered in burning cars, debris fields that can stretch for blocks, and worst of all, the hidden, lethal threat of unexploded bomblets that could go off hours or even days later. This creates a whole new rule for survival. It's not just about avoiding that initial missile impact anymore. It's about trying to navigate the absolute chaos of what falls to the ground after the big explosion up in the sky. It turns out the most dangerous part of the strike isn't the missile that hits, it's all the pieces that don't. So, what does this all add up to? Well, this tactical evolution, it signals a really big shift in the nature of modern conflict. It's getting messier, it's getting harder to contain, and the line between a successful defense and a damaging attack is getting really, really blurry. What we're really seeing is a kind of quiet escalation. It's a new phase of conflict, where the attack itself doesn't just last for a few moments. No, it lingers. In the streets, in the debris, and in the minds of the public,
long after the initial event is over.
And that really leaves us with one last, pretty chilling thought. As warfare adapts to overcome our defenses with fragmentation and chaos, the challenge isn't just about winning a battle in the sky anymore. It's about how on earth you secure the ground below long after the sirens have faded away.